This is the new Asus ROG Ally, Asus's handheld gaming console that has launched in India at ₹69,990. So you know what, let me show you how this works, the gaming performance, which by the way is surprising, and if it makes sense versus say a gaming laptop in India. So let's find out. So this is what the ROG Ally looks like, and this has obviously been designed with portability in mind, and the attention to detail here is crazy. This has a curved design with different textures all around that give the device a lot of character while making it very handy. This fits in the hand very well, it's very grippy, and the 608 grams of weight seems very evenly distributed, so it's very comfortable for extended periods of gaming. It also has the ROG gaming vibe. These joysticks on the front have RGB that can be customized via Armoury Crate. There's this strip on the back which looks like an RGB, but it's actually just a cool looking reflective strip. There's also the ROG text here, the ROG logo on the back. This also has a fingerprint scanner here that works well, and when it comes to ports, this has the ROG XG Mobile eGPU interface, which also includes the USB-C port that also supports DisplayPort, and there's also a microSD card slot that supports UHS 2 cards and a headphone jack with high-res support. When it comes to the controls, this is very similar to the Xbox controller, and this is actually fun to use in games, and Asus has also confirmed that this is easily repairable. So you get the joysticks that are a little looser than the DualSense or Xbox controller, but actually make shooting more accurate. There's the D-pad, which is clicky and nice. The YBAX buttons are reminiscent of the Xbox controller design, and they're very nice to use. On the top, you get these triggers that are responsive, and on the back, you get these two buttons where the fingers can rest comfortably so you can activate them when needed. There are also these small buttons on the front. This launches the command center, which lets you change the brightness, the sound, the performance modes, and a lot more. This button lets you access the Armoury Crate really quickly. The other two buttons can be mapped for anything in games. For example, this left button works as an escape key in games, and this right button here lets you open things like the inventory. The controls about the screen here is a 7-inch IPS touchscreen, and these are all the specs of the screen, and honestly, all of these features make it perfect for gaming. I mean, yes, the screen could have been bigger, especially with the thick bezels, but other than that, this is really good. The games look beautiful on this. 120Hz makes FPS gaming way better, and the response time is very good. Even movies and shows look good on the screen, and add to that the loud front-firing dual 1-watt speakers, and you have proper multimedia experience. So the design, the build, the features, very cool, but I know you've been waiting for this, so let's talk performance. See, first of all, let me make it clear that for a 70K device, the ROG Ally packs in some serious specs. I mean, the new 4nm AMD Z1 Extreme CPU with 8 Zen 4 cores, a max clock speed of 5.1 GHz, gets sneakily close to the 12 Gen i9 CPU, and the GPU is no slouch too. This has the integrated AMD Radeon RDNA 3 GPU, and for a handheld console, this is capable, no doubts about that. Making things even better is the 16GB LPDDR5 RAM. I mean, think about it, which laptop in this price range has DDR5 RAM with 64 MHz speed? Add to that, there's a 2230 short size type SSD here, but it is a proper NVMe Gen 4 drive with decent read-write speeds, as you can see. Now, to give you an idea how powerful this is, just check out the Cinebench R23 scores of the Ally versus a Ryzen 5 5600H, a 12450H, 9900K desktop CPU, or even a 12900H. This is good, right? Like I said, the Z1 Extreme comes really close to the 12900H, and that's saying something. When it comes to 3D Mark Time Spy, a GPU benchmark, you can see that the Ally comes close to the Nvidia 1650 GPU, which still powers a lot of affordable gaming laptops. First of all, this is a handheld gaming console with full-blown Windows, and that means there's no limitation in terms of games. And coming to the performance, this handles esports titles without breaking a sweat. Just look at Apex Legends. It's smooth, a lot of fun, and you can play this at 1080p high, but at 1080p medium, the FPS jumps to almost 100, the display's variable refresh rate kicks in, and the overall experience is very smooth to play on. This is all good, but the real test was always AAA titles, and the ROG Ally handles them pretty well, mostly. See, Asus and AMD have worked with a lot of game developers to optimize the popular titles, and that includes AAA titles, so a game like Forza Horizon 5 looks great and runs very well. The ROG Ally literally gets 60 FPS average and a very good gameplay experience. In fact, you can even connect the ROG Ally to a TV and do some 4K gaming. I mean, Forza Horizon 5 looks pretty good on 4K even at low settings. We even tested Red Dead Redemption 2, another popular AAA title, and at 1080p and medium-high settings, this gets an FPS around 40 to 60, which is pretty good. Cyberpunk, another intensive title, at 1080p medium settings gets an FPS of around 35 to 45, which, if you know Cyberpunk, is good. Now, not all games are optimized. For example, Hogwarts Legacy is playable at 1080p, but there are stutters in the game with FPS ranging from 28 to 45. It's kind of strange, but this is a first-gen device, so it's kind of understandable. Now, most of the games I played support the gamepad, and the gameplay experience with these controllers is really good, but there are some games that don't support the gamepad. But the good thing is you can map specific controls of a specific game in this controller, and there's extensive options for that in Armoury Crate. So you can map the keys, the sticks, the triggers, and you can customize the vibration. It's very cool, and you can even customize the buttons to use Windows with all of these controls. Now you can map things, but if you want, you can also play games via the usual keyboard and mouse combo. For example, Valorant is one such game, and it works really well on the ROG Ally. Apart, this also has a proper cooling system. Opening up an Ally voids the warranty, but inside you can see the two fans, which even on high speeds aren't loud at all. Also, you can customize the fan speeds via Armoury Crate. This also has what ASUS calls anti-gravity heat pipes because they keep the cooling intact in a wide range of motions, however the device is being used. The Ally also has anti-dust filters, and while this does not use liquid metal, the thermal paste is supposedly one of the high quality ones. That's all. The device also has these two intakes to pull in cool air, and there are these exhausts next to the triggers on the top. Now the good thing is you don't feel the heat of this handheld much. Now the battery is also important in a handheld console like this, and this packs in a 40 watt battery, which is same as the Steam Deck, but the battery life is kind of okay, and that might be due to Windows. I mean, the chipset here is supposed to be very efficient, but with heavy gaming, you get 1 to 2 hours of battery life depending on your setting. In light games, you can get higher battery life, but all of this is dependent on the TDP. As for charging, this comes with a 65 watt USB-C PD charger that fast charges the device. Look, all said and done, one thing is for sure, the ROG Ally proves that handhelds are no longer a gimmick. See, I love how this looks and feels. The raw performance of the ROG Ally is extremely impressive for the size and footprint of the device. The controller works well in games and is ported natively across most of the games I tested. Sure, it has its quirks with Windows not playing well with the touch controls, and the battery life could have been maybe better, but other than that, this is an exciting handheld console that we absolutely enjoyed using. See, I want to know from you, ROG Ally at $70K, what do you guys think? Comment down below.